BD, or before Disney, Central Florida was home to thousands of acres of orange groves and a few processing plants. There was one theme park, if you will. Gatorland in Kissimmee was founded in 1949, billing itself as the alligator capital of the world. It's still there and worth a trip as it's a throwback to Florida, BD. One day in the mid-60s, a guy by the name of Walt Disney and the father of Mickey Mouse hatched a plan that would change the Orlando area and even much of Florida forever. Disney proposed building Walt Disney World on 25,000 acres, nearly 40 square miles, on what was essentially backwoods, pasture, and swamps within the confines of Orange and Osceola counties. Fast forward to a few weeks ago, when Governor Ron DeSantis pushed through legislation upending business as usual in Central Florida. The new law eliminates Disney's Reedy Creek Improvement District. The governor told a Fox News town hall in Orlando that Disney will live under the same laws as everyone else. He said it just simply ends with them being treated the same as every other company in Florida, he said. They're going to follow laws. They're not going to have their own government. They're going to pay their debts and pay their taxes. But according to reporting by Fox Business, Reedy Creek was created by the Florida legislature, yes, thanks to a lot of lobbying by Disney, but perhaps more important, Orange and Osceola County did not have the services or resources needed to bring the project to life. So the state legislature worked with Disney to establish the Reedy Creek Improvement District, a special taxing district that allows the company to act with the same authority and responsibility as a county government. Our POV for today: what were the legislature and the governor thinking about when they took this action against Reedy Creek? On the program today, John Mousseau, Cumberland Advisors President, Chief Executive Officer, and Director of Fixed Income, who earlier this week delivered what I think is the most elegant and cogent explanation of all things Reedy Creek. John, what say you about what came down?
A little bit of it, Craig, was basically fire, aim, ready. Probably not the way to do things. And we know that Reedy Creek, as you said, is a special improvement district. And what does it allow Disney to do? It allows Disney to basically tax themselves while providing support for fire, police, sanitation, etc., by helping to fund those activities. And they're able to issue tax-exempt debt. So it's been in place for, as you said, 55 years.
Yeah. I realize neither of us were there, but what do you think the legislature and the governor were thinking or doing as they did this?
I think what they want to do is to basically have Disney be a little more in line with their political thinking. And, you know, I'm not sure this is the best way to do it because there are ramifications for what the legislature passed. For starters, you know, if you end the special improvement district, there's $1 billion of debt that basically the state of Florida has to either defease or pay off.
There's also an impact specifically on Orange and Osceola County, yes?
Right. So what would happen would be the responsibility for taxation would fall to those counties. So Disney's not taxing themselves. The counties will be taxing not only Disney, but other people. So on average, the average citizen will end up paying more money.
And we talked before the show that there may be parallels between Disney and the creation of Lakewood Ranch?
Yes, another under a different title, but really an improvement district, and as you said, was created because at that time Lakewood Ranch wasn't built up, and it was an ability for private enterprise to step in and provide services and stuff that the area itself couldn't provide because they weren't there.
Going back to Reedy Creek, what are the actual numbers as far as the debt that's out there, the debt that would potentially have to be repaid? I think I saw a number of $160 million.
No, there's $1 billion.
$1 billion. I'm sorry, I had too many, not enough numbers. Wow.
Yeah, $1 billion.
That's a big number.
It's a big number, and you know that debt is serviced every year by Disney, of course. You know, the taxes go to pay that, and you know, in our view, I mean, the way the law is written, that has to be taken care of before the improvement district can be basically dissolved.
Speaking of that, Disney and several news organizations over the last several days have said that there's some sort of codicil that everyone has discovered that apparently somewhere written it is said that this district can't be dissolved unless all of the debts and the interest is paid.
Right. Well, that was my point about the state having to defease it and pay off the debt.
Yeah.
Would taxes probably go up? Yes. Is this problem solvable? Yes. I mean, you need to get back to the table and talk things out because, in the end, finding a solution and an agreement with Disney is probably better than trying to dissolve the Special Improvement District.
I wouldn't do this to you because I like you too much, but if you were in fact sitting at that table between Disney and the governor and his people, how would you see them or give them a way to perhaps fix this?
I think in any kind of negotiation, you both want to have parties, walk away with not having left things on the table. So both have to give a little bit. It's in the best interest of all to continue to do business the way we are. I don't think the legislature did the right due diligence on seeing the hurdles that would have to be overcome in doing this. And it's like any other negotiation, right? If you want $20 or $10, you ask for 20 and settle for 10 and you're happy. And I think that's kind of what has to go on here.
I know you're not a political scientist, but just being a resident of Florida, just being someone who rubs elbows with probably a lot of politicians and businessmen, do you think this has hurt or helped the governor?
Probably, if you think about the governors, running for re-election, it has kind of like the Teddy Roosevelt era. I'm taking on the corporations. That plays well politically. In reality, where the result of that is taxes go up, you have to kind of look down with a periscope around the corner, down the hall, and it ends up costing people more money. So, right now it's probably a political plus for them.
Yeah. If you're responsible for the money side of Orange County, what's in your head right now?
How are we going to pay for this? But what's going to be the mechanism on how we pay for this? Which taxes do you increase? Because, like I said, the way they're set up, so long as Disney doesn't violate state law or federal law, they can pretty much do what they want in these improvement districts. And that, of course, is the card the governor is playing, is that Disney has really unfettered access to development and doing what they want regardless of zoning or anything else, which is true.
My personal observation, having lived in Orlando and Orange County for 7 years, and I had a house there until 2 years ago, is that those taxes paid by Disney and the attractions paid a lot of things that we might not have in other communities here in Florida. For example, the roads, the highways are pristine, and there's never any kind of trash. Christmas decorations throughout the county in neighborhoods that it's like, why would you do this other than the fact that you can afford it? I think, if this were to go the wrong way, I think it would dramatically impact life as residents know it in Orange County.
I think so. And what you have to do is look beyond the cost benefits of having Disney with the theme parks, right? And look at the secondary and tertiary effects of this on other developments, tourism, golf courses, everything that goes beyond Disney, which has benefited and multiplied over the years, but because of Disney.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, John Mousseau, the president and what's the second part of your title?
Director of Fixed Income.
What does that mean, by the way?
It means I get to run the bond department.
Didn't you say something about you got to play with the toys?
No, I said it's the toy box part of the job. It's the fun part of the job.
Anyway, John is part of Cumberland Advisors, our go-to group for when we have to explain something when it comes to money. John, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.